Hey guys, my name is Angus McFillan. This is my END330 assignment number 1 part B. My student number is 34037719. First we start with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD. The reference is there for the article. Basically the article delves into strategies that help accommodate students with ADHD. The strategies that we used include modifying your attention as a teacher, positive behavior management, or praising those positive behaviors when you see them. Using clear communication when explaining tasks can prove effective, and also if you have reward games for positive behavior, say heads down, thumbs up, or sheriff, these can go a long way into building that bridge and showing them that there's a reward for good behavior. This article is very valuable as these strategies are very applicable not only in the situation of accommodating students who have ADHD, but potentially students with specific learning disorders or even ASD, or not listed there, but even emotional behavioral disorders, um, in the sense that, again, building that bridge and giving them a reward for good behaviors. Next, we have ASD, or autism spectrum disorder for long. The reference is there, as you can see, for the article. It discusses autism spectrum disorder and discusses various strategies for incorporating the students with ASD into the classroom. The strategies gone over in the resource start with establishing relationships with the parents/caregivers of the student with ASD, and this allows you to get as much information on the student as possible, and it allows you to make a positive connection early on. Next, the resource discussed educating parents and students in the classroom on the topic to ensure all parties are understanding. This resource is pretty valuable in all honesty to teaching not only students with ASD but also students with emotional problems and even SLDs, as having that good connection with parents plus as much information as you need on the student ensures the best possible start to the relationship. Also ensuring that the classroom knows what's going on. Obviously if the family is willing, that can go a long way into forging a pretty encouraging classroom. Emotional behavioral disorders, or EBD for short, articles there. The next resource covered in the literature review is about emotional and behavioral disorders and the strategies that are talked about in order to accommodate students in the classroom. A key strategy discussed in this resource is lead management, which ultimately equates to the teacher fostering a welcoming and encouraging environment to help students feel comfortable in the classroom, which in turn will hopefully lead to them developing a sense of self-management per se. Another strategy for EBD students that coincides with assisting students with other disabilities, namely ADHD, is using praise when a student does something positive in the classroom and contributes in an effective, positive manner. Say putting up their hand to speak, and the teacher then praising them, telling them they did a good job and were following the rules well. This carryover shows me that this article is extremely valuable in the realm of teaching students with high incidence disabilities, mainly because of the point I just brought up. SLDs, or specific learning disabilities, articles there, and this penultimate resource delves into the world of specific learning disabilities and the strategies associated with accommodating students with these array of specific disabilities. The article brings to light many different assistive technologies that can be used in teaching the students with these different specific learning disabilities. An example of this could be in the case of written assistive technology, as a student could be using spell check on Microsoft Word, which can then help them properly spell. Or they could even type up their work instead of writing it, if that becomes a tall task. The article is very relevant and valuable, as these assistive technologies can be used for probably every other high incidence disability in a way. Think ASD, it could help students put forth the point they're trying to say if they're struggling to write it or they're struggling to say it. Yeah. Lastly, you'll see the reference here for our next article, mild learning disabilities. This article discussed these disabilities and the various strategies that can be employed to accommodate these students. Strategy that the article discusses is discussing with students how they like to learn or how best they have learned in the past, which helps the teacher better plan their own lessons around these understandings. You could even stretch that out and talk to former teachers, parents, etc. about that to build a better plan. Another strategy that this resource delves into, which kind of goes hand in hand, is that of observation, in which a teacher is using their observation skills in lessons to work out if these lesson ideas worked and if these plans are coming to fruition in a positive way. This resource is valuable because of what I just said, and also as these strategies of planning and observing the set in motion plan can heavily relate to other high incidence disabilities like EBD and the works. Lastly, we have the references here, more previously put down, but here they are. Thank you for watching my presentation.